Stephen J. Goralski, attorney in military law. Today we're going to talk about GOMOR's, General Officer Memorandum of Reprimand. So basically that's a letter of reprimand issued from that soldier's CG when Article 15 might be too much, or court-martial is too much for that alleged misconduct. So typically, for example, someone might get a GOMOR for counterproductive leadership, also known as toxic leadership. If that individual, is accused of bullying, distorting information, refusing to listen to subordinates, showing little or no respect, talking down to others, unfairness, unjustness, that all falls under counterproductive leadership, and that might be a reason why that person is issued a GOMOR. So in that GOMOR, typically it says that individual has 7 days to respond. Now, when individuals reach out to me and retain me to respond to that GOMOR, the first thing I do is request a 30-day extension. Okay, and during that 30-day extension, what we do is we go through the investigation, if there's an investigation done, such as a commander's inquiry or a 15-6. Then we go and we interview people. We interview people that say there was a specific meeting where it's alleged that this individual belittled a subordinate soldier. We would reach out to those people that attended that meeting and ask about that particular situation and provide a statement. Okay. In addition to witness statements, also get statements of support, character references. So those letters include, who that individual is, how they know, who that individual is, just a brief background on their Army career, how they know the client, and then they start talking about performance, conduct, and in addition, address some of the specifics that are alleged in the GOMOR. For example, if it's counterproductive leadership, belittling, berating, subordinate, then we'd want that person providing that statement of support to write specifically about that. For example, hey, I served with so-and-so for 2 years at this command, was with them in multiple meetings, never berated or talked down to a soldier, always was professional. So you also want a paragraph in there regarding that, if that individual can speak to that. So you have the witness statements, you have the character statements, statements of support. Also review the AR. So for example, the Army regulation for counterproductive leadership is AR 600-100. So you review that, you look at the applicable areas, and then you might highlight that and also include that in the rebuttal. In addition, you may also want to include a statement, but you don't have to. That all depends on the facts of the case and the advice of the attorney that you consult with. So you put together a legal argument on why you're not guilty of this allegation of, for example, counterproductive leadership, and then you have supporting documentation in there. And in that argument, not only are you referencing the AR, but you're also referencing witness statements and also those statements of support. Okay. And so once that's all put together, the enclosures, then you submit that through the command, and it goes through the command. There's recommendations made, and it goes to the CG after it's reviewed by his legal team. And then there's a couple decisions that have to be made. Hey, should we rescind and destroy this GOMOR because the allegations are rebutted by the overwhelming evidence that this individual provided in their GOMOR response? Do the CG file it permanently in the permanent record or filed locally? Now, if it's filed locally, it's filed for up to 18 months, or until that soldier changes command under a new CG. and then that GOMOR, that locally filed GOMOR, would not follow them. Now it's filed permanently, goes into that soldier's permanent record, and it could have career, it could impact that soldier's career. For example, they automatically review records for these types of things, and it might trigger a QMP board. So then that individual now has to address the QMP. And again, that's another package that's put together to address the QMP to, advocate for retention in the service. So in a nutshell, that's a GOMOR rebuttal. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and we can talk about your specific GOMOR and how to address it. Take care.